Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Frankfurt Major 2015. Kyle Guy here, going to be joined again from Purge, and we have Weapons as our obs man here on stream number 2. It's Virtus Pro going against Team Newbee in Group A. We all just finished what was, I guess, the first game of our first heat here. A couple of upsets on one side, a couple of promising showings from others. But Purge, let's go again. The cliff notes for game number 1. Virtus Pro, they took the game. How did they do it?
They forced staff rush to draw ranger.
That was it.
That's how they did it, man. No, they grabbed a draw strat, basically, more like a draw visage strat. Draw visage strat with a support AA to counter an enemy dazzle. They put a Dragonite mid to be that tanky upfront stunner guy. He got a blink dagger, some stat items, eventually a BKB. When he uses his ultimate, he hits really hard because you have a freaking draw ranger. And then their offlane was a spear breaker who can also just stun, charge, do stuff like that. And Newbee's draft was less damage heavy. It had a gyrocopter. He did very well. That was how. Their mid player was a Wind Ranger who had to go Force Staff first. Although, did he really need a Force Staff? I felt like the Force Staff was maybe not the item, but that's arguable. Wind Ranger, they had a Clockwork, and their two supports were a Dazzle NS, and they really just lacked damage to kill VP in a lot of fights, and I really feel like they could have won the game if they maybe didn't have a Dazzle. The Dazzle was just so hard countered by the A. He was pretty much worthless every fight, and I think that really just added up and allowed VP to win the first game, so Game 2 is coming up, and Newbee immediately like, we want the A. And I honestly feel like AA is the support hero that will be the tournament. Like, he's already first-round picked. Ice Blast is amazing right now. They really buffed Cold Feet. He's so good in so many drafts. I just have a lot of faith in the hero right now.
And obviously people who want to be going for the Dooms and the Alks and stuff like that and all that heavy sustain, we'll have to think twice if there's going to be an early commitment from an AA on one side.
Yeah, and there's Dazzle, there's Winter Wyvern, there's so many heroes in every single position that rely a lot on healing. And Ice Blast is just so amazing right now.
Virtus Pro, they'll love the Spear Breaker, and I don't blame them for it. With that previous game victory, they now sport a 10-3 record on the hero. And I said it last game, and they're not going to wait. They're going to go right for the Brood. I feel like this is just way too early of a commitment. They are going to follow up with an appropriate ban on the Darkseer, but my goodness, this is something like we saw from the Vegas Squadron back at ESL 1. They loved it so much on MAG that they were like, first phase, let's do it, baby.
Yeah, they absolutely loved picking it then. Again, Brood got a very slight nerf. Movement speed slow to the spiders is a little bit less, but I think what VP's seeing right now is they say, wow, they grabbed AA or Shaker. If that's their support combo, that is the weakest Brood zoning support combo I've ever seen. AA has no AoE. And Earthshaker has fissures, but it's a pretty long cooldown and it doesn't kill the spiders. So if you've got a net down, they walk right over those fissures and they chase your supports down. A is very, very vulnerable to Brood. So this maybe VP's prepared like, this is how we're going to counter the A pick. We're going to crush your tri-lane, and this is going to force Newbee into having to do something serious about it. They need AoE disables, they need AoE nukes. Whatever it's going to be, it's got to be able to counter Brood.
And AA can't really find a safe place to go and farm. Typically, you're finding one side of the map, but that's going to be the side of the map where Broodmother's going to be. Otherwise, you're going to be going into the tri-lane or something, and that leaves AA kind of starved for XP. Newbee, again, banning out this Vengeful Spirit. I don't know how many Virtus Pro games they've been watching, but they still feel like it's something they could fall back on here. And Virtus Pro, who have made already the claim that they're going to be sticking with what works here, and I imagine that it's going to be the continued case.
That blows my mind. I'm actually so confused why. It's possible there's some scrim information. I've heard that the Chinese teams talk a lot about the other teams kind of a thing. They say like, oh, this is very common picks.
That's a no-no, Purge. I heard that was a big no-no. You should not be talking about other teams' scrims.
It's a little weird. It's a little gray territory. It happens actually a lot in the pro Dota scene. It's kind of something that this is the first time it was. The difference is that the DC drama was very malicious seeming. This is more like,
that's any Dota.
This is business backstabbing. It's like, look, I'm friends with you, but I'm going to stab you in the back. The DC drama was like, I hate those scumbags, let's stab them in the back. It's a different context.
That's true. That's true.
Ember Spirit, a decent pick against the Brood in the laning stage. The important thing is that as soon as you do AoE damage, the spiders spread out, and then they can't all attack at the same time, which severely reduces the DPS. So if he just presses Flame Guard, then the spiders can't just run down those supports as easily. You can cover them a little bit. But with that said, if you look at the bans that VP went for, they say, we want to force you into a tri-lane situation. We're not going to let you pick Bristleback 1v1 against our Brood. We're not going to let you put Darkseer 1v1 versus our Brood. We want our Brood to create space by forcing you to sit and protect your carry.
Now, I don't foresee Newbee being this kind of a team, but what if they're to pull out something like an Axe Purge?
Axe is pretty bad. I even saw, I didn't check out the link, but I saw on Reddit that sorted by MMR, that Axe is the lowest win rate in the very high bracket in Dota 2. It's like third lowest.
Why do you think that is? Is it people have seen enough of it and they kind of know how to deal with an Axe, or is it just Axe is just falling off?
The hero was real OP at DAC. I think he had like a 3.2 second stun on a 10-second cooldown.
All through BKB, which everyone loved.
All through BKB, which was crazy at the time. And his chop threshold, the problem with a hero like Axe is if his chop threshold is a little too high, the hero just seems completely overpowered, and you get on that snowball very easy. And then he goes crazy continuing to snowball, and he transitions to frickin' refresher orb so he can AoE stun a team for like 6 seconds, you know? But he just got a little over-nerfed, I think, which is a little unfortunate. He has some strong uses, but when that threshold is so low, if you don't hit the Culling Blade, your hero is bad. If you hit the Culling Blade, your hero is amazing. And that's literally all that happens. Like you're looking at 100, 200 HP difference, and if you get the difference, Axe seems amazing. If you don't get the chop, he's bad.
So Newbee made a commitment for the Ember Spirit, and their ban quickly after is removing the Silencer, who offers a lot of control for someone like the Ember. But the quick response here from Virtus Pro is like, we're still going to get someone with a hefty silence and amplificated damage on the Skywrath Mage. Plus, there's respectable synergy between the Skywrath Mage and Spirit Breaker. He charges in, sets up, and that's an easy Mystic Flare drop, and they're going to still have that control here. It's just feeling like, Purge, that Virtus Pro continue to dictate this draft, and Newbee are forced to be more responsive to it.
So far, that's definitely what it seems like. Newbee's basically said A is really good, we got to pick it, and boom, now they're picked into a bit of a corner, and VP knew how to react to it, essentially. So I would agree with that completely. Although I do like the Earthshaker versus Spirit Breaker. I think that's very good. Yeah. Very, very easy to fissure him as he approaches.
And they do play a lot of Earthshaker. I just want to, the side note, 7 matches, 5-2 record, a 71% win rate. So not a lot of teams committing with Earthshaker at all anymore, but if there's a team to do it, Newbee would be one of them.
10 seconds.
So with VP grabbing the Skywrath, like you said, they do have the silence counter against the Ember Spirit, something he's going to have to be very worried about. May even force him into something like a Manta style. A Bat Rider, a little surprising. Not a lot of people picking Bat lately. The only team that I saw a lot of stats for was maybe Alliance. They picked some Bat.
That's mid lane, like S4 Bat.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember, off lane Bat can't just fall back to the jungle as easily as it used to.
Now, do you think they're doing this against Brood?
I would think so. I mean, just, I guess, having the burn, but any respectable micro Brood player would just be like, yeah, and I don't care about that.
Yeah, put one spider on him at a time to do damage, and then move it off, and put another spider on him, and then another spider while last hitting. And I feel like a Bat Rider can't win that lane. There's no way.
They can't be putting it mid, could they?
Versus a Queen of Pain, I don't
Not
like
anymore.
that in the slightest. There's no way Bat Rider can go Quap either. So they kind of pick themselves into a corner unless if it's an offlane Bat Rider, whatever, you can do that. I guess it's maybe not amazing versus Skywrath. I guess it's okay versus Sky because Sky has to turn and cast a lot, so the turn radius reduction is going to be decent. But I'm not so sure I like the Bat this game. It's going to be okay for gank potential if you think about it. Like imagine late game, Bat Rider's looking for a kill, set up a kill by a creep wave, Ice Blast with the TP from Ember Spirit. There's some good synergy there for late game fights. But in the laning stage, I feel like Newbee's going to have a lot of trouble.
Yeah. They must be, unless they're pulling out something here in this 5th pick to kind of pull it all together, and we can find out what exactly is the story with this Bat Rider.
They also have Ember Spirit versus Quap. Naturally a very, very good synergy pickup because it allows you to fish for those Quap kills with the Searing Chains, preventing him from blinking. So very likely we'll see, I don't know if we'll see Ember mid versus Quap necessarily, but it's a kill they could make happen. Fissure with Ember Spirit versus a Quap, that they can definitely get that kill.
Virtus Pro coming into this tournament with Queen of Pain. 8 games, 5-3 record, a respectable 62% win rate, a G classic here. So if you're hoping for a good laning stage of an Ember versus Queen, you're going to have a tough test ahead of you. And the 5th pick here from Newbee, a lane dominator, it's going to be what looks like the Moo Viper. Now, that is a tougher matchup, certainly, for the Queen of Pain, but that definitely means this is going to be an off-lane Bat Rider, and that's where I feel like things could get a bit sticky for him.
Yeah, it depends on how the second support goes. If it's a Spirit Breaker, Bat Rider is going to be completely happy. So I think this is going to force VP into having to pick a strong second support. and do an offlane. Oh, I'm sorry, it's offlane brood, obviously. I'm sorry. So I guess it is support Spirit Breaker. I guess bad in that sense is all right, because SB doesn't do much other than a stun. So his damage is going to be a bit weak. He can't really chase the Bat Rider because he's going to threaten his own life. So, but it's still up to the carry of VP. If they get like a fairly strong carry, is Jaro? Jaro's actually in the pool.
One of the few games where maybe eventual Spirit Carry could have been something special with the swap on the lasso, but obviously it had been banned out here. So we're looking for the Illidan grab. Is it maybe go for like a gyrocopter?
I mean,
good old reliable gyrocopter.
Jaro's not amazing versus Viper is the other issue. Jaro's not very good versus Ember either, I would say. I feel like there's something better they can go for. I actually did like the Slark ban. Slark's very good against both AA and Earthshaker, more or less. You kind of just initiate on them and they can't get away and you usually kill them.
Yeah.
Because Earthshaker buys Blink, that's not enough to keep him alive versus the Slark in most cases. Decent against Bat Rider as well, prevent him from moving away.
So something for the Illidan hero here that can put up with the pesky Viper here and not have to worry about getting controlled and locked down from this bat.
Yeah.
Back.
Will Lil's tweet prove accurate here? Because I feel like this is a game. They got 7 seconds left to not pick a YOLO hero. Something standard.
Weaver.
A Weaver.
I'm a bit indifferent about it. They pulled it out at Nunyoung, and in that game, it was all G who was able to pull it out, and it ended up turning into Illidan being more of a support Weaver, where he actually had to commit and get an Agnum Scepter that game.
Okay.
I don't know if this is going to be one of those kind of a games, but you know, it kind of can fit the bill. He doesn't have to worry too much about the Viper. Could still be caught out from Bat, but hey, Weaver is one to get a Linkins typically, so that helps. And it could be difficult for Ember to lock down with the chains. So I think it's all right. You know, with one of the few options left, it's something Illidan used to roll with back in the day when Weaver was a powerhouse core. And I guess it's just one of those few options left. Ideally, I'm sure they would have loved to have gotten that Slark, but a wonderful ban from Newbee.
Yeah, I think the Weaver's all right. The Searing Chains provides vision to him. It's similar to any other immobilized kind of ability. If he survives the lasso, he can always time-lapse back. That's kind of a good Bat Rider counter in the way, but usually you don't end up surviving that one, especially with things like Ice Blast. But you can time-lapse through Ice Blast. It sets your HP back to what it was before. I think it's okay. If he gets a fast Desolator, he'll be really threatening to Ember Spirit because Ember is very low armor. He's very bad. He has a very poor agility gain and very low base armor. So Weaver's good in that sense as well. So I kind of like the Weaver pick. We'll see how it works out. It could go the way where Newbee just does Fissure Ice Blast with a nuke and he just dies. So I don't know. We'll see. Very limited disables from Newbee, so he should be able to time lapse pretty reliably.
What about this potential laning setup? Sending the Weaver to the bottom here? Maybe Virtus Pro looking to do something a bit different, trying to read ahead as far as what Newbee are going to do and shove DK Phobos to the top lane on this Brood
I like
Mother.
this. I think Weaver definitely allows them to aggressive tri-lane. Look at the supports they have. It's Earthshaker AA. Imagine Weaver level 3, maybe level 5, finds a solo AA. AA just dies.
Yeah.
There's nothing he can do. He can cold feet and like...
Slow down, please, with his Vortex.
Yeah, but he runs max movement speed when he's invis, obviously, so very easy for Weaver to run him down. With a Skywrath Mage there as well. If AA ever gets out of position, just dead. Earthshaker as well, he's going to have to fissure block very well, and there's still Spirit Breaker charges and stuff like that. If he gets like an Orb of Venom or something, these supports are very, very threatened in the safe lane. And I'm pretty sure that, it's actually a Quap top and then Brood mid. That makes a lot of sense. But the Brood versus the Viper, because he doesn't care about a Viper being there.
Oh, I love this setup here
Quap's
from
good versus
VP.
that. Yeah, it's really good laning setup here.
What was it? It was Team Secret when Zai was on the squad. The first time in recent history that they had pulled out that pesky mid lane Brood that really threw off their opponent a bit, and it's popped up from time to time again, especially from teams like Vega who have those Brood specialists, but now even Virtus Pro pulling out something a bit cheeky here. And already, look at this, an early move onto Banana, and this Earthshaker could be going down. Chessbug, look at that body block here with the early chilling touch, trying to keep him backing away, and will they commit with that secondary charge? Yes, they will. This one on Chessbug. Can he get around the front and block him in? No, he can't. Chessbug still going to be fine. Can he get close enough for the Arcane Bolt? Oh, not enough. He eats the Tango. Yeah, he will go down. That might have been just enough to get it done, but what a beautiful block coming out from Banana, but no!
Oh, no!
It blocks How out. He can't participate, and Lil already gets a double kill on his Skywrath Mage.
What a good dual roaming support, man. Sky Spirit Breaker, great damage, 2 charge disables. That's a great way to chase heroes. And 325 freaking movement speed on Skywrath Mage, man. Who needs boots? Those supports are just so weak in a tri-lane situation. It's very surprising, but, you know, he's only got so many right clicks.
Well, they did an audible switch here for Newbee, though, to kind of deal with this Brood mid lane. They sent Tule now on the Bat Rider to this mid to contest the Brood. A smart call, and this puts Viper in his matchup against the Queen of Pain that they were hoping for in the top lane. Did have to miss out a little bit early on with some of the creeps and some of the early XP, so G is going to have the early initiative here, but I don't know, Purge. We'll have to see if it's going to be enough. And now with this bottom lane getting so much with these supports and keeping him back, and you got to remember, Hal was even forced to get involved in that situation. And look at this, he's eating Swan Arcane Bolt, and he is down. A ruthless Virtus Pro Squad has showed up to Frankfurt now, and Illidan might be back into a corner. He needs 2 seconds. He's not going to get it. He goes down, and all the meanwhile, Bat Rider gets a kill in the mid lane, taking out the Brood.
How the heck does that happen? Doesn't he just walk away? But he got the kill. I think he might have gone. No,
one too many stickies, maybe.
I really don't know. That's a weird kill. Might see Lil dying as well. No, taking some damage. That's the problem with the build that Illidan actually went for. He used the Swarm there. If he had actually 2 levels of Sakuchi, he would have been fine. But he only had a single point. It's so dangerous to dive like that, but it's probably worth it, right? He killed the enemy carry, surely, but he helped these supports out a bit. Might end up hurting him in the long run.
Very questionable for that mid lane, unfortunately. So now Tule, level 4 here. DK Phobos is going to have to kind of keep his distance a bit tonight. Too many of those stickies and step back and away. But look at this. Lil is hanging around this mid lane as if he knows that they need the assistance. But now he's the one who could be in trouble. Banana looking to cut him off. A brilliant block. And Lil, can he squeeze out from that little crevice? No, it's not big enough. And now he's stuck here, and the stacks are going to build up, and Tule is going to burn him to a slow yet painful death. Rotisserie chicken man.
Suicide?
No. Boop. No, he will go down. That's a killing spree. An early bounty push going the way of Tule.
That is a very, very rare thing that happens for a Bat Rider, getting this much early kills. Very bizarre. Banana's going to get some experience in the mid lane, I guess, and in the meantime, Bat Rider jungles.
I mean, is now the early advantage that Virtus Pro had just taken right back away, Purge?
That mid kill on Brood absolutely should not happen, basically. And the second kill, I guess it happens. You know, a little space created, whatever. Makes some heroes move around, but Barrett has got 800 gold at 3.5 minutes, and he's already got boots in a bottle. Like, that's insane. He could get a Blink Dagger at like 6 minutes and create amazing space on the map. And if they can prevent that from happening, whatever, think they'll be all right. But it's hard for them to do that. They would kind of need a fissure and maybe some other follow-up. Spear Picker kind of works with the Skywrath Mage, but they really need to be able to punish the bat when he initiates. That's the only way they're going to make this work.
4-minute rune. Banana's going to snag it right up from the front of Lil there, and the top rune is going to go to G. So he bottles up a bounty rune. He wants to head towards mid lane where they have a charge out in Tule here. FNG will lead in the action, gets the bump. DK Phobos looking to kind of intercept a bit, pops out the nuke, and G will be there to help clean up. Tule's early advantage will be taken away a little bit as G will grab that last kill.
I really like that. And he just grabbed a rune on the way down, so he didn't waste that much time. That was a great pickup. Good rotation, delays the blink, and hurts Newbee's ability to just get that really fast item and just own the whole game.
Looks like Illidan did sidestep a bit here. You know, if a bit of harassment had to get himself away and out from the lane here as Hal can play a bit of catch-up. 11 CS to Illidan 16, gets the chains off, eats the Arcane Bolt. There's the silence. Illidan, though, gets off the attack first, and he's going to be able to Sakuchi away.
Banana's getting kind of low.
Lil, can he dish out another couple Arcane Bolts? He wants it. He's moving in.
So
he's got it.
That minus armor is so big.
Oh my God, he's going to get another one. Lil with a double.
Oh my, dude, Lil is so good.
He is on fire today.
What the? Those supports, they were like, what's the big deal? I got some bugs on me. They had like minus 10 armor, and all of a sudden his right clicks are hitting for double damage, basically, and they didn't estimate that. And boom, double kill for Lil. That was so sick. What a play.
Not very often, at least recently, you're going to have a lot of practice going against a Weefer. That deceptive amount of damage has thrown him off, plus VP's aggression might be just something that Newbee are a bit uncomfortable with right now, it seems. Yeah. Top lane, FNG is eyeballing Moo here, so potential action to come.
Ooh, that's a hard one.
Yeah,
Clock's not 6 yet. His rotation was absolutely worth it, I think. It helped out the mid lane a lot, gave his support some experience. Sacrifices him slightly, but what do you do against a Viper, you know? Every time you dagger him, you give yourself a lot of damage.
Tule here, back from that early takedown here, trying to at least get back on quota if he wanted to go for the blink here. And FNG says, let's get it going, and oh, of all the runes, Tule grabs up a haste rune here, and uh-oh, look at that. He is maybe eyeballing FNG.
He's got no Firefly, though.
Yeah. It's the best rune you can ask for here in a Bat Rider. It's a shame that his skills are not up. But look at this Banana, who had even been harassment here from Lil in their own skirmish. And the Broodmother going to get his own kill, snagging up the tasty little Banana.
It's really dangerous to have Brood have this many nets here, because any fight that happens in the mid lane, he can show up to. And yeah, maybe it's not a ton of damage, but just throwing an extra 300 in is usually enough for a hero to be able to solo kill, and hero to easily get a kill with some help. So he can always help with that. And in the meantime, Illidan can very easily pressure How. He can right-click him for the double Geminate attack kind of a thing. Sakuchi as well, you know. Ember Spirit's a weak laning hero, and Weaver's a pretty good laning hero.
Yeah. A lot of people recognize the weak laning phase that Ember can have, and they know that if they're able to punish him, he typically has a much harder time being able to recover, and is one of those heroes that does have quite the build-up before he can reach that early peak, and that struggle will continue here. Purge, they lead in, they get the silence, early arcane, and How has really nowhere to go. Dishes out the chains, not going to get the catch in. There will be FNG with a charge to finish the job out, but look at this rotation in from Moo. They will get one themselves as they do a trade of support for the core. How still a worthy trade for Virtus Pro, and they would love to get more here, Newbee, as they consider going on in. Lil, you don't want to be tussling here with this Viper. Is going to get back to safety. Meanwhile, look at this. Illidan creeping in from behind. Oh! Almost gets Banana down, but Banana's going to be fine. Or not. Illidan's going to cut him off at the pass.
He doesn't know where he is.
They have the vision. No, they have a charge. He's charged. They know he's in there, but Illidan knows there's a sentry in the lane and doesn't want to have to overcommit. Meanwhile, Tule is going to get the kill, looks like, on the Phobos here.
He's just going to let...
No, he doesn't. He's hungry. He wants it. He's like, I'm going for it, Geminite. And no, they get it with the Swarm. FNG helps with the bump.
Oh, the TP.
And he is out of there.
That was a great little move there. I like how much time they made them waste. Like, it basically guaranteed that the Earthshaker didn't TP, didn't get to safety. He had to stay in that right side, which gave FNG the potential of staying alive as the charge came through. He knew that kill was going to happen. He just had to waste the guy's time, and that's exactly what he did.
Now, you know, during that time, it looked like the Bat Rider did get the catch onto DK Phobos. Takes him down. It's his first lasso with the game, committed into doing it, so at least they get a little bit of something there, but everywhere House seems to go here, it's just like, nabbit. Just trying to even get to my level 6.
I think the only thing really bad about that is the faster blink on Bat Rider. I don't think they care too much if Brood dies here or there, because the pressure on the other lanes are amazing right now. The only hero that hasn't really died much is Viper. Moo's doing quite well with just the treads here, and now he's shifted down to be against the Weaver. A decent place for him. He's a little bit weak physically if he takes too much physical damage, but I think this is a decent rotation. We actually see Illidan shifting as well.
Everyone's kind of going all over the place. How has now found hopefully a new home in mid, but the second he shows up, there's already going to be a charge out, and he's able to get the Remnant now, so this creates that safety barrier, but look at Tule. He shows up one more second. He has the lasso, looking to commit it. We'll get it on the FNG, but here's G. Commits in, has Sonic Wave. They are going to be able to get the kill on the Earthshaker here, but G is waiting to line up a big catch with his ultimate, and Newbee don't want any of it. How already on the retreat. Tule will kind of bodyguard him a bit, and Virtus Pro will kind of sidestep their way back and look to at least clean out this tier 1.
They are really pressuring this Ember Spirit because they know that's the only hero that's going to easily be able to solo lanes and maybe get solo kills. Like,
Banana. Banana's back. Banana's dead. One of the fastest lives you've ever seen. Poor guy. Will go down. It looks like they might get a follow-up here on the Moo as well. They get the Swarm. Arcane Bolt. Illidan charging in. Oh, Sonic Wave. Barely catches him right on the cusp right there. And Lil, very close, but How is going to get Buddy Bump back. And he's not going to get it. A disaster for Newbee once more as they lose 3. And Virtus Pro stay alive and well. 14-5. 10 minutes in.
VP is looking so amazing right now. Like, Lil's tweet is so accurate.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, we're going to dial it back a little bit. We're still going to play crazy. We're going to do a lot of aggression. And Newbee can't handle it, but VP's also holding it in a good place. They're like, we're not going to do stupid things. We're going to do very strong ganks. We know how to play aggressive. We're just going to not do the YOLO stuff, the 75% chance to win or to get kills. We're going to do the 90% chances and stick with those until we have such a big advantage that there's no freaking way we can lose the game.
This is the TI Virtus Pro that we had been expecting to see for quite a while now, and they had been shoved off the beaten path, but they are back in full force, and they're going to look like commit another kill as they get Chesbuk here. Looks like they could lose Phobos, trying to hide, but he has nowhere to go under the crafty flames of Tule. And look at this, looking for a follow-up onto Illidan. Illidan's going to be able to Sakuchi away, charge out now. FNG, do they have the Mystic Flare? They certainly do, and they're going to drop it onto Tule's head, and he'll be going down. It's another 3-man drop. For Newbee, Virtus Pro just lose DK Phobos.
Viper in a bit of a vulnerable position here. He's got a lot of magic resistance. This could be bad for Lil. I think this is a mistake. We will get at least one kill here, but the charge comes through.
If he loses his own life, is it really worth? And he will go down, and now Illidan dominating. Good to see him doing so well again. It'd been a while, unfortunately.
That was actually okay. He got a dominating spree for 600 gold, Viper that is. And Weaver got 300 from it. I actually don't know if that one was worth it. The fight recap is actually even here. Gold going to basically the Weaver and the SB, and Viper came out positive as well. So
that's that minor rubber band that kind of still is there. Not as dramatic as it used to be, but because of the significant net worth advantage that Virtus Pro have already had to this point.
You like this item, guys?
Dagon, that's confidence.
The Dagon rush on Skywrath.
That's confidence right there. But hey, if you have a hero to pull it off on, why not Mr. Skywrath Mage? He only has one level into Ancient Seal, but that's still 30% increased magic damage. That Dagon's going to be hurting.
Spending 13 kills at 12 minutes. That's good. Lil, man, this guy is really good. Shows up. If he can show up and silence an Ember before he gets the Flame Guard off, I think he just dies solo.
He's going to go right into trouble, though. This is Deathman's alley right here. Oh, don't mind me. Oh, my God. Tries to turn back and away, but Tule will not let him. Pulls him right back into the struggle. G does show up. Gets the Dagon off in time to take down the AA. So he gets one of his own.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
The kill happened after he died, so he didn't get the experience, but I don't think he really cares that much. The amount of pressure that's going on here, A's died 4 times now. Illidan chasing.
Yeah, this is the follow-up now coming in as FNG is going to get the bump on the Banana. Nether Strike, and a beautifully orchestrated gank there as G is going to be able to finish him off with the Sonic Wave. How looking to come in on in, gets a little bit of damage on the G, but it's not going to be enough. Bash 1 going to be there, and now FNG needs to turn away. Gets a nice charge and will retreat out of there. And Tule tries to catch up, but he's not going to get him.
That was a great charge. He was completely ready for that when he was hitting his opponent.
Look what's happening in bottom lane. All the meanwhile, DK Phobos, easy tier 2. Mother has claimed this lane, but over on the other side, look at this. Tule does eventually catch up with that pesky cow, and will be able to take him down.
Moo in trouble? Nope, time lapse.
So he'll be fine. Top lane. More skirmishes continue, man. This is a brawl. 30 kills at 13 minutes in. Are you kidding me? This is the kind of Dota that we've been asking for right now.
First mistake by VP there. Lil basically died for nothing for once. Every other kill they've had has been a good trade, and this is one of the issues.
Is it for nothing though, Purge? It might be space created. Bottom lane's still a bit of a problem.
Some tower damage being done here. How doesn't have a Flame Guard either. Can't stop the spiders, and he's got the Orchid. He could solo kill this guy right now.
And he does it. Commitment in. Orchid, nuke, and now he's going to back away.
Good try though. I mean, it's creating some space. The early Dagon is a cool idea, but the problem is that he uses a full combo. He's 100% out of mana. Whereas before, he could kind of poke and prod and stay alive a little bit. And he's also been limited on levels. He hasn't got any experience from his kills in a couple minutes, and he really needs those extra seal levels just so that his Dagon gets buffed up a little bit in damage. It'll make a big difference.
What would have been maybe something possibly a bit more optimal here? If you want to be, for Skywrath Mage, you want to be greedy, what about like an early commitment to an Atos or something?
I like the fast Atos. It's a pretty good game for it as well. Really counters the Ember Spirit when he uses his Fire Remnants.
Helps against Bat Rider, who can't really get away.
Helps against Viper. Viper already a very slow hero. Just Atos him and walk away. You don't have to use your slow, which slows you basically because it does damage. So a fast Atos is definitely very good, but they probably just grabbed the Dagon because they're like, let's just continuously kill Ember Spirit. And I mean, he can definitely solo kill way better with this item, but his mana pool is a little bit iffy right now, and his survivability is also pretty bad. So if he can transition into some more kills, then he basically just wins the game for his team. Not that he hasn't already in some ways.
Oh, of course. Even something like a Yules, it's like get that Bat Rider up at a Yules, you get even crazier move speed on top of it, but at least having with the Atos, you could add that extra bit of life here. But it feels like a little bit that Virtus Pro are pumping the brakes just a touch from the aggression we saw before, and Newbee are going to be heading down to this bottom lane. Is this a smoke? No, they don't have a smoke. They recognize that this Brood is a bit of a problem now, and they don't want to be leaving too far from it.
Weaver's eggs rushing, by the way.
He's actually doing the eggs
again. He's like, you know what? I'm going to buy the weirdest freaking items ever just to keep my team alive in fights. It's actually very good. I bought it in like an overthrow match. It puts your ult down to like a 20-second cooldown.
And obviously you can use it on allies too.
Counters Bat Rider, Lasso on any of his team except for himself, but it still helps him as well, his personal, because Eggs gives you like 400 HP. HP that Weaver almost never has this early. So by having an Eggs, he protects his whole team. If he gets lassoed, he has 400 extra HP that he wouldn't have. He could time-lapse himself back. It's actually really smart. Very, very smart.
And if they're going for him, do you have a Spirit Breaker who can maybe Nether Strike, try to keep him backing away, a G, Queen of Pain, who can kind of jump in and help out a bit, and of course Skywrath Mage, who can assist.
That's a really good point. It also resets mana. If Skywrath Mage uses his full mana pool, time-lapse him.
Oh, that is great.
So many cool things that it can do, actually.
Oh, Ice Blast will connect. Nice deny comes out from Moo. And Virtus Pro are simply here for that one tower. So it looks like they might turn their attention towards mid lane. Already a charge onto How. And they're looking to rotate in, but will they have enough lockdown to keep him from getting away, though?
Spirit Breaker, nice, fine.
Another strike. Follow up there.
Echo Slam somewhere.
A dunk comes out, and it's going to get the kill on the Illidan.
Yeah, Illidan stayed on the left side. It looked like he wanted to pressure.
But they had a sentry down, and they got him.
That was 600 gold.
But bottom lane, Newbee know they can't leave too far from home, because any chance that DK Phobos can get, he will just get in there and eat that tower up. Now down to about a third of its life.
How do spiders do damage to a stone building?
I don't know. It's like termites, just like slowly over time, maybe.
Just throw their body against it until it breaks. Like
yeah, maybe they like spit out little acids. I mean, if you look at them, they don't really.
They do have a poison attack, but I always assume that was biological. It's a poison sting. I don't know how they're gonna get though. I don't know how they're gonna sting rocks, but whatever. Buildings will die.
Yeah.
Nothing new on Lil here. Looks like they're grouping for a smoke. Yeah, they are. FNG. They're waiting for one. Yeah. It's gonna be the Weaver. No Axe for him just yet.
It's such a weird build-up. I guess it's not a Virtus Pro game unless there's a little bit of Virtus Pro in there.
Yeah. I still think it's actually a really good build. It's, Weaver has a lot of damage just from his skills. He's maxed out the Swarm. He's going for team fights. This is kind of always how Illidan's played. He plays weird heroes that basically give them an early advantage and then hopefully allow them to just stomp. Like he plays Chaos Knight and Silencer and all these team fight heroes, and Weaver's really not that different. And with the Ags, like we said, it counters so much coming out of Newbee.
Concussive shot, follow of silence, a bump, Mystic Flare. Moo is dead. He is out 45 seconds, does have a buyback here. May have to use it already. Newbee might have to get all hands on deck to help with this defense. An early Orchid on Tule, but they are just trying to create the space, it looks like. Can they sidestep? No. Illidan.
Oh, great silence.
Nice silence. Tule's not going to be able to get the lasso, and he's going to go down. Beautiful Sonic Wave follow-up, and Virtus Pro will no longer have to deal with this bat. And Hal goes in. Overcommitment from him. He's going to get dropped. He does have a buyback, otherwise out for 45 seconds, but they do not want to be forced to use these buybacks so early. But it looks like they might have to, otherwise they could be losing an early set of Rex.
Man, VP are playing like beasts right now. That Orchid was so good on the Blinking Batrider. Instantly killed. Then they get the follow-up. The Dagon helps out a lot with the Viper. Treads on Skywrath Mage. Great item purchases here. Like, what can they do? They don't have a normal fight here. Like, the burst damage from VP is so high. They have lots of disables. They have lots of ways to escape. Ags is up in about 500 gold, and a Rax happened in 19 minutes. Like, this looks like a fast 2-0 for VP right now.
I mean, both these teams coming in had once a period of golden glory. I mean, more so almost for Newbee with being TI4 champions. But it's starting to look like it is their first series, so you don't want to be speaking too soon. But so far, it's looking like Virtus Pro have definitely made some adjustments since then and have brought their A game here.
They really have. Like, Lil is looking like super, super serious talent in this game. Like, top-tier support talent, great roaming. Lots of kills, performing well on different heroes. Here comes the smoke, though. Can they defend? Oh, good grab.
They need this. They need a big fight here. They're even committing an Ice Blast and everything to take FNG down. And yeah, without that assisted time lapse yet ready, he will be going down. Echo Slam, mildly effective. Banana should be going down, will go down. G's going to get dropped in the back inside. And Illidan, desperate to make it away, will be able to wand off and be fine. But Hal gets a cleanup kill on the Lil. There's the time lapse here. Illidan's going to Sakuchi back it away, realizes Hal is low, looking to commit in for him. Can he finish him off, though? Meanwhile, Moo getting the chase down to FNG.
Oh,
Illidan man's up kick, it's the fish. He's got to kill the little creep. And FNG is going to get the bash and the takedown. G shows up after a buyback here and a commitment. Moo, though, is going to be able to make it away on a TP. Ends up being, what, a 4-for-4 trade, I believe. If you do count that buyback, I'll get confirmation, hopefully, on the fight recap. No, Valve doesn't want to give me one, apparently.
Yeah, I didn't see that one either. That was a great fight for Newbee, though, considering the position that they're in. They got a lot of value. A couple mistakes from VP. First, SB died right at the start. G had an aggressive blink that actually wasn't very good. Look at that swing, man.
That was
Huge
two.
swing.
That was two buybacks actually from Virtus
Oh,
Pro.
wow.
I didn't realize that
No
FNG
wonder
had
it's so
also bought back on that.
Man, if they just had the Aghanims on Weaver that fight, they would have stomped that fight easy. Boom, time lapses SB, send him back to safety. Ice Blast is wasted. He can charge back in. Easy fight. But with him dying and then G having that aggressive blink that actually didn't accomplish that much other than put him in danger, it just started their fight off in a bad way. And it wasn't like typical VP over-aggression or anything. It was just slightly poor choices in that fight and a slightly delayed Aghanims on the Weaver.
Well, he's about to have it now. In fact, he actually already has it. Bought the final component here as he's farming up a couple of camps, and we'll get to see what this fantastic Aghanim Scepter is going to be able to do on this Weaver. I'm very interested to see. But they got to keep up this pressure. Now, a weak and wounded Newbee squad losing their bottom sets of racks. They're going to have to always have someone on defense here, so committing to a 5-man fight is going to be very, very tricky here for them. And it looks like Virtus Pro are maybe going to try to repeat what they did on the bottom lane up here at the top. Continuing a lot of push and pressure there, and maybe have DK Phobos come in from a different wing.
That was G's first death this game, actually. But with the Aegis picked up here, may not see another death out of him. But he definitely needs to transition into some survivability items. Either a BKB or an Axe is really what he needs. Because on Intreads here, he's only got about 967 HP. That's not the area you necessarily want to be in. Even Skywrath Mage is far tankier. He picked up his ult or his fight.
What about an AC? He's doing it. He got Hyperstone.
Yeah, I guess that's all right. Yeah, no, it's going to help a lot with the Weaver. That part's pretty good. Swarm plus AC means G could go for those supports, get some -10 armor pretty fast. I think it's okay. He's going to need to sit on strength treads, maybe.
Yeah. I was seeing a lot for possibly the Axe pickup. You know, I guess maybe he figured BKB not so much because you have a Bat Rider on the other team. I don't know if he's been real focus heavy as far as Lasso goes. It feels like they're just as heavy going for Illidan. But
he's a Sieger as well. They can't put Illidan in the front. As you can see his positioning, he's waiting for the time lapse. If he goes up in the front and he gets lassoed, the fight could definitely just be lost if he dies. But now, if G just picks up an AC, he just hits the buildings from range. There's no way he dies, and they can cover him for the time lapse.
Missed the last hit there, but they got a free tier 2 on this top lane. Only one more outer tower stands. And for Newbee, they're very hesitant here. They know if they pretty much lose one more dramatic fight, that could be game.
No, he's okay. Blink for the catch, but no Observer vision there. That would have been a big catch. He does have BKB, though. BKB up on the Brood. G's got a DD.
He's ready with that Orchid again in case Tule wants to commit on in. He has an eye for him, and he
BKB
does Orchid him up and move. Caught in the fear, gets a beautiful Force Staff backing away, but G is on pursuit. Sonic Wave, though, is going to be able to finish him off. Banana could be the next target here. DK Phobos not looking to go to the high ground, but G looks like his Aegis will be expended there as he gets burned on down. Virtus Pro kind of reassess, regroup here. Want to probably make a possible another go into this tier 2? Should they feel confident? Sonic Wave is down. Bat Rider still has Lasso up.
Illidan is actually playing a support right now. His playstyle is entirely support.
He did it just like this at the Nanyang Championships too.
I honestly think it's a good strat. It looks okay to me. The time lapse, he hasn't actually done it correctly yet, but it's a really cool idea, and I think it has a ton of merit there. He should have been able to save G, for example, there, but he was on the opposite side of the tower. He felt uncomfortable crossing it, so he's still worried about the lasso. But if on paper, like seriously, that fight by the Roche pit, the game just would have ended right there if he had the time lapse in time. It still is going to be amazing, and it's still a huge threat. Like just having that option, it's basically like he's a grave. He's a shallow grave, better than a shallow grave by far. Like, how does Newbee fight? They basically say, like, okay, we have to go on the Weaver. It just makes them so much more limited and makes them less likely to initiate. And that makes the game so much harder to play from their aspect.
Newbee going to be able to get a little bit of dewardage here so they can feel a bit more comfortable about walking out at least the front door of their own base. And look at this. G did step off from the Hyperstone since then, Purge, and has committed for the Ogre Club. So maybe he is going to decide to go for a BKB after all.
The BKB is really just what he needs. It's almost all the damage coming from Newbee. You know, even the damage that would come out from Viper just by casting a dagger on him, for example, is going to hit him hard over the course of a battle.
Oh, and a Demon Edge here on DK Phobos. Is this for maybe a possible Butterfly to be coming out? He's looking to commit for an MKB?
No. It doesn't make Butterfly.
Not Butterfly.
Daedalus is probably what you meant, I'm guessing.
No, MKB. I thought maybe he would be getting an MKB to deal with a possible Butterfly, but I don't see a Butterfly anywhere in sight. So just raw damage of a Daedalus? It's interesting.
Yeah, I really don't know. could just be Daedalus, honestly. It's not a terrible pickup, really, against somebody that has low armor, like Ember Spirit. If he pops his ultimate, like, he hits really hard right now. 81 plus 124, that's 200. He gets another 90 from Insatiable Hunger. If he crits on that, he's got, like, one-shot supports. Like, pretty close. Maybe two-shot supports. With a BKB, that's actually a really good option here. You don't often see the item, but just, Evasion's not going to happen on Newbee. Maybe on a Viper, but probably would be an item after the current one. So I think he could definitely just pick up the Daedalus, and it'll be strong all game.
Definitely a bit different. Oh, FNG, committed charge in, looking to go for How. Nice! Force Staff. Yeah, keeps him away from the Mystic Flare here. Wonderful Ice Blast here, but too late. Could be potentially caught out as the Nestor Strike will connect. Swarm, they get the heal. They're looking to retreat out. Banana may not be so lucky. There's that Demon Edge going to work, and Banana will be going down. Nice catch there. Lil's going to get the final blow. VP take one life, and we'll kind of step back a bit here.
Yeah, a lot of ults used. Lil has no mana. They kind of have to retreat at this point. He can just back up, finish 200 gold, and he'll have an Atos. And then their fight's going to be a lot easier. In that fight, it was pretty easy for Newbee just to get away. Once the Force Staff came, it was like, okay, fight's over. They need to get that first burst, or they need to get better chase. And that Atos is definitely going to give them better chase.
What do you think about him stepping off, going for the Yasha before just straight for either a Drums or getting a Battle Fury first and foremost? And once, I guess, the little bit of extra damage, farm capability, move speed?
I think it's okay, especially in a game, like I just said, they have poor chase. So if you give yourself more movement speed, it means they're less likely to catch up to you. Especially like Weaver. Weaver has a huge mobility advantage over you. If you increase your mobility advantage, it lessens his. So it's kind of like a defensive play. And he was, exactly, very likely to make a Manta style anyways. Did he have a broadsword or something, or a claymore?
He had a claymore.
He sold it, I think.
Manta.
It's gone.
Does not like the Orchid.
He kind of had to. There's 2 silences plus Skyreth Mage. I mean, but by that I mean 2 Orchids and a Skyreth Mage. Like, I'm surprised he even got the claymore, really. He must have bought it earlier when he was doing better.
So a bit of a, staggering start. Maybe didn't give a lot of respect to VP in their silence game, and I would assume, especially after seeing the Orchid come up from Brood, he's like, it's just a necessity at this point. I'll hold on to the damage for now, but eventually I'm just going to have to sell it and get this Manta. It's a bit off the beaten path typically for your Ember Spirit, but it's a necessary tool at this point.
He just had to, really. Like, there's no solution at this point, because every time he gets Orchided, if his team has to save him, it's just such a dangerous situation. They need to save the Force Staff for whoever gets fully initiated on, like stuns with Sky ulti. That's the only way they're going to win this game, is if they can survive that. But if every time he gets Orchided, he needs cover, he's putting his team in a really vulnerable position. Yeah, and that means Batrider can't just do his Batrider thing by blinking and lassoing and using the Force Staff to get him more isolated. It just means that they're constantly on a defense when they have a lineup that would hopefully be more on the offense, at least by this point in the game, and they can't really do so. Especially with that 1 Rax. And again, because I had to get Manta instead of Battle Fury, now it's a pain in the butt to actually push this wave out. And G can easily sit over here by himself, push up casually, have a BKB.
A low Roche timer, too. Fortunate for VP, not so fortunate for Newbee here. They'll wait out a little bit, but once it comes up, I imagine they'll take it, they'll get the Aegis here, and then they'll try to go for another lane. And we'll have to see what Newbee are going to be able to do as far as high ground defense goes. I mean, you always have the bat factor to try to do a quick kidnapping, but other than that, it's Earthshaker and his Echo Slam, and he doesn't have a Blink Purge, so it's going to be a bit of a difficult defense here for Newbee.
It's even hard for them to leave their base. Like, yeah, they can do a Batrider lasso, but that means that people are going to have to be by the bat, and he's far more mobile. He's got a Blink and a Force, so they have to leave their base. Their base has to be pushed out. They've got a Viper who's not good at doing AoE damage.
Yeah.
They've got a Ember Spirit with a Manta style. Like, how do they push? And they're 2 supports as well. Same thing. A is awful at pushing against creeps, and Earthshaker is really not very good at it either. It costs him too much mana. He doesn't even have a Soul Ring or an Arcane Boots. They're so limited by this early Rax due to the heroes that they have, because in typical Chinese style, they pick for team fights. They say, we want to be able to 5-man really strong, and we pick the heroes that do that. Their bases aren't really covered in these other options that have now arisen due to VP's good early game.
That's where it's like, it makes you wonder, if you were going big on the team fight, and we see from a lot of teams, especially like Western teams and stuff that are looking to build up a lot of team fight, that's where they get that early commitment on something like a Darkseer. I understand that maybe for, in particular, Newbee, very comfortable getting something like an Earthshaker, but not many teams are going to give that much respect to it and ban it out. If they made instead an early commitment to the Darkseer, it would have made VP second guess a Broodmother commitment, and they would have had a lot more farm potential and ways to push back these waves.
They couldn't do that, though, because of the picking stage. You know, VP picked Broodmother in the first round, and Newbee had already picked Earthshaker and A. And then immediately VP's like, Darkseer, get out of here.
Yeah.
Got to prevent that pick, and it just absolutely limited them and forced them. Like, basically, I really feel like VP outdrafted them and definitely outlaned them. Their lane matchups were good, and then they've also been outplaying them in the tri-lanes as well.
That's why I just like so much having Darkseer in that first phase of picks.
Yeah.
And then you're not going to have to worry about a Broodmother, but we'll see if Newbee are going to have to deal with the bit of a handicap at this point, because Virtus Pro are just... They're coming, they're knocking, they got an Aegis now, and I don't see much that's going to be able to stop them. And there's the MKB, now complete on this DK Phobos Broodmother. I don't even see a butterfly in sight, but he just wants that bit of damage, and mini stun, why not?
Stops TPs, so that's hypothetically useful. I think a Daedalus may have been better here, but it's not a terrible item to pick up by any means. Initiation comes.
There it is, they need it. They need it big here. Lil, they can't get him.
Get it.
Not going to be able to get close enough to pull back and save Lil, and FNG already heavily committed to the base. He's going to go down in VP. They've gone in a bit too far to save Lil, and they're going to be losing so much. That's 3. Oh, no. They all go down, and they got to get the hell out of there. They don't lose their Aegis for this, but Ilden not able to get close enough to save his partner.
Somebody got time-lapsed. He's on cooldown. I just don't know who it was. It was not Lil, that's for sure. He might have misclicked, maybe double-pressed it or something, but... If this is your strat, you can't mess this up.
No.
Because that would have been lasso counter, Lil at full HP, counter initiate, but they dosed. It was just the fight went bad and they didn't leave fast enough. DK Phobos tried to save it by half engaging, but you got to realize on the same page, it has hit the fan. Time to retreat, and they lost 3 heroes for that.
That
can't happen on their head.
Such a nice fight for Newbee Purge. They got nearly like 5K gold. Banana suddenly is only moments away from finishing out a Blink Dagger now. Imagine I look over to How, and he's got a good share of farm. Well, that Claymore is back now, and he's getting much closer to finishing out that Battle Fury. Virtus Pro can't afford to be handing over fights like this, because Newbee could creep on you.
They definitely can. Ember pushes out the wave a while. Still doesn't have Battle Fury, and VP definitely needs to go right away. Wait for the... You can't let the Aegis go away, pretty much. Like, if the Aegis is gone, you're going to have to wait another 10 minutes, because, yeah, they're ahead, but they're not that amazing at high ground. The tower is still threatening. They still have Ice Blast, and they're just sitting in their base. You can't get a pick and push, so they have to go for this force, and the easiest way to do it is with Aegis. They do have a Deso on Weaver, at least. That's going to help, but he needs to time-lapse somebody that dies, or that gets focused.
How quick to push out that top lane, so they're not going to be juggling too much pressure here. They were able to get that bottom lane pushed out pretty far.
Battle Fury's up.
Battle Fury now up here for Hal. Blink in, here we go again. There's the time lapse. This time it's not going to be happening here, Mr. Tule. And Virtus Pro now will not have to worry about the lasso.
So 20 seconds cooldown. Counters the 70-second cooldown ultimate. Pretty good. G's at about half HP. He uses regen too. He's going to be low. He shouldn't die, but...
Oh, they might try to get Shmoo here out from the front door, but they turn right back on FNG, and he gets saved. Oh, man. G, though, could lose his Aegis here. He will.
The strat is working.
Illidan is like the martyr here of his team. Quick saves, already 2 of them. And he's going to have it again in 5 seconds.
They lost the Aegis, but I think this is their time to go. G grabs the DD.
Blink on Earthshaker, though, Purge. You got a Blink Echo Slam in the pocket now of Newbee, and I'm not sure if Virtus Pro are aware of it.
I don't know if it's even going to matter. Like, they don't group that much. It's always like one hero getting really focused, and Weaver's like, oh, 75 mana, I'll send him back. No problem. This Eggs is so good. It actually is very, very valuable in a lot of situations. It's just nobody ever buys it. They're like, nah, I'm going to buy damage items. He's only got, what, 89 last hits? This is going to really hurt his stats, but, like, I think it's very valuable. It's just a very different playstyle.
Yeah, the stat, especially that I said earlier, where he gets the least amount of farm of any carry player in the tournament. And this is kind of a bit. But, hey, if it's a trend that seems to work for you, you're going to be putting more behind G, and he's going to be the guy who's like the number 2 and there to help, and it gets you wins. Can't hate on that.
They're still not feeling super confident about the push here. But
AC
the AC's up. That's going to help a lot.
Atos on the Moo, but Moo's happy to stand and fight, trying to get rid of some of these pesky little critters.
Those poor spiders, they're burning. Oh, that's actually a lot of last hits. Good for Bat Rider. Oh, the damage! Those poor little spiders.
That CS stat, though, is going to be built up pretty nice for Newbee, I guess. But
yeah. It's just so hard for them to siege, basically. You know what they probably should have done? Is just smoke through the bot lane. Boom. Approach that way, get a kill, start the fight in a good place.
Here we go again. FNG looking to commit on in, and G happy to make a move right on the bat, right up on the other side. They're able to get a Sonic Wave. Not the biggest. They still can't get Moo down, but they're finally going to get him to drop. 70 seconds does have a buyback if necessary. VP step back, trying to go for the tier 1, and Illidan could be in a bit of trouble, looking to step back and away while Phobos is going to get lassoed up. They are going to get Illidan down, and Phobos, though, going to get a cleanup of his own, finishing off too late. Now they look to focus How trying to help out Banana. Banana going to be going down, and they are going to get the return kill, taking out DK Phobos, and Virtus Pro are going to have to retreat. As far as base damage, they don't get much of it there, Purge. Barely get that tier 1 mid lane down to half of its life.
It looked so good for VP2. They initiated, FNG almost died, gets time-lapsed back, but then that's the issue, man. Weaver became vulnerable. He went a little aggressive on the south side, and they ended up disabling him, and it forced the rest of VP to cover for him, and it led to 2 kills there. Both the Weaver dying and the Broodmother. I think, I almost said Manton Weaver. I really hate Manton Weaver, but he just needs a BKB, really. Get a BKB, make sure that you're not also a threat. They got him.
Wow, what a snipe coming out from Chesbug. And G goes down. He has no buyback. Out for 70 seconds there. Damn.
That is such a huge kill. That basically turns the last fight into amazing. A got almost 900 gold, and G lost 539. What a kill.
I'm getting more and more nervous for Virtus Pro as the time goes on here, and Newbee continue to defend. It did cost him a buyback there on Moo, but they're continuing to hold, and they have a team that can scale pretty damn well into the late game, especially since Illidan is not itemizing, at least early enough, to be a big powerhouse hitter.
It's one of those games where you don't want to play Scarth Mage. Like, it was amazing early mid, but now they just sit in their base. You can't get ganks off. It's really hard to get solo kills. They have to basically look for Ember Spirit solos, which is what they're doing. Like, oh, we'll kill Ember Spirit, force them to buy back. Then it's, we're in a better place. But it's hard to get those kills. He's not pushing out very far. And they used to smoke, by the way. They used to smoke to leave the base. That was very peculiar. They have no more smokes, to my knowledge. Yeah. Big mistake for them, because they could have smoked through bot lane, but they're basically just going to wait for Rosh at this point. We'll find out how long they respawn very shortly, or how long he respawns, but they're going to wait at least for the Aegis.
And How is getting closer and closer to that Daedalus. He just finished what felt like that Battle Fury moments ago, and he already has huge crit coming his way.
Moo building HP, picks up a Reaver.
Oh my goodness. He was already hard enough to bring down.
Probably make a Heart. I think a Heart is okay this game because VP doesn't have a physical carry. Therefore, if you build HP against magic damage, then it's pretty healthy because magic doesn't scale amazing, usually. So I would have said maybe get SNY, but honestly just the straight Heart, because there isn't a lot of physical damage coming out of VP. They're not scaling very well. Weaver just had a Deso. He hasn't farmed anything since then.
Virtus Pro at this point just kind of clinging and staying near this Roche pit in hopes that they can just take it quick for themselves. But I wouldn't put it past Newbee Purge that possibly they could maybe look to contest it. If Virtus Pro are not going to be able to push these lanes across the river and pressure Newbee and force him to stay within the confines of their own base, there could be contention. And this is a good team to contest a Roche. You're talking Bat Rider, an AA Ice Blast setup, a potential blinking Echo Slam. I've seen this combination before. I believe it was in the TI5 Grand Finals.
It's really dangerous, that's for sure. Even like Ember Spirit could show up and slap them all around a little bit while he's invulnerable.
That huge
put him in a
team
dangerous
fight.
place.
Yeah.
You can't time-lapse everybody anymore. That's the scary part. It was really amazing in the early game, but they just got it like a minute too late. Just needed a little bit more farm there on Illidan for it to pay off.
We'll have to see if the peaking moment here for Virtus Pro is already passed or not. But this Aegis move forward could be one of the last hurrahs for Virtus Pro if it's not going to be a successful one. And it's just seconds before it will pop up. FNG will snag up the invis here in hopes of maybe scouting out a bit. But all the meanwhile, Newbee are just happy to continue to push out those side lanes a bit. And
Roche is up now, though. They haven't checked. They will in a second.
And they know now.
There's no way Newbee can leave the base. Like, look at them. Viper literally just standing in high ground, and the support's behind him.
Yeah, they certainly cannot afford to lose a fight themselves.
Only two of their heroes are basically survivable outside of the base. It's Bat Rider and Ember Spirit. So Very straightforward Roche. They're going to get a cheese as well. Cheese going to the Broodmother. Makes sense, I guess. Does the most damage, more or less. He's basically their carry at this point. Wonder how different it would have been if he got a Daedalus, honestly. Like, who knows? He might have killed a hero extra. The damage that Daedalus can do should not be underestimated. I mean, it does far more than MKB.
I figure more Broodmothers who are like turning into fighting Broodmothers also go for Deso, able to kind of take advantage of the fact that it does work with the ultimate now. But
yeah.
But MKB, and I guess, you know, Illidan's going to be the one to get the Deso, obviously. He picked it up shortly after, but we'll see.
I'd rather MKB over Deso, definitely. But I'd still rather Daedalus over the other one. There's just no evasion. There's no reason to get it, to my knowledge. Am I missing something? I'm not sure. Damage to G. He's in trouble. Fissure.
Oh my. He actually gets the help from Illidan. Will get all of his life back and will not be forced to use the Aegis, but that means they're going to get the snag on FNG. Virtus Pro will lose their Spirit Breaker because of the committed time lapse onto G.
Oh man, the eggs is just not good anymore. It needs to be a lower cooldown, but that would be real OP. It's basically like they lost their timing window. They had like a 10-minute timing window. They got the bottom racks, but they just never got any of those time lapses that they needed. They were always just slightly out of position, and now Newbee is caught up. The gold graph is, you know, they're still ahead. They got 9k advantage, but you're not feeling it in the team fights, you know? Newbee has the good heroes. They've got the Lasso, they've got Echo Slam, they've got Fissure, they've got Ice Blast. That was a lot of spiders.
I mean, it's like Virtus Pro are just trying to dangle G in front because he has the Aegis so he can poke at the tower with his sieging capability. Oh, mid lane here. Orchid onto Hao, who's going to Manta it off. Illidan's here to help out. Well, that's just how saying not happening. Goes all the way back. But they're trying to have G out in front, and at first it was like, oh, Newbee's response was they'll try to lasso him, but now they quickly realize, okay, they'll just time lapse, and we can't do that. So now that Moo is so damn tanky, they're just like, Moo, go out there and beat him up a bit. And they can't do much to stop it.
And that's, again, because of the damage scaling that isn't happening. Viper with a bunch of weird items. Reaver, Plate Mail, and a Yasha.
It's like a thrift store here.
I think... I kind of feel like if he's just going to buy a simple Reaver and be like, I want to make a heart eventually, I think he should just gotten the Sanj, honestly. It would have been far better. The spiders, oh my god.
And they're not standing well. FNG looking to charge in. Illidan needs to save someone. Goes for G. That means FNG is going to be going down. G's going to be forced out to BKB. Sonic Wave to fly. Hao's going to split here, but it's not a convincing fight for Virtus Pro, and they're being shoved right back out. G still has an Aegis here, but I don't think they're going to be able to use it very offensively.
It's tough. Batrider's dead, so I guess they could, but now their disables are pretty weak. They just have an Atos, essentially.
Hao is getting so freaking rich, though. He has a Daedalus done and nearly 4k gold.
If he gets like a Rapier or something, things just get so tough.
These waves just don't even stand a chance when they're trying to push in. One slight and they're done.
They defended long enough, and Newbee's back in the game, man. This game could easily go both ways at this point. I almost wish VP was maybe splitting a little bit more. I think that's maybe one thing you could argue. Put like Brood top solo or something, put the rest of the team mid. Like, maybe you'll lose the Brood sometimes. I guess it's really scary, though, because they do have such good catch with the Batrider. Like, that's why they probably aren't doing it, because if Batrider lassos somebody and he's solo, he just dies. And they can't let those deaths happen either, so they're forced to do this 5-man stuff. Lotus Orb is the pickup for Brood. I was wondering what he can use that Playmail for, but it doesn't give him much damage, but it gives him the armor, and he doesn't want to build a second AC. So he probably doesn't want to build a Shivas either, so...
You see Tule jump in, and if you're able to get that Lotus Orb fast enough, he'll be stuck lassoing himself. Yep. We'll see.
It'd be really good. You can also remove Searing Chains from somebody. That's going to be really useful.
The purging capability.
Yep, exactly.
Phobos creeping in, and they spot him out under the tower, and he just gets kidnapped. Phobos. Not where you wanted to be. He just got a little too eager, creeping into the Newbee home, and now look at this, they're on the chase! They're going to catch up with FNG, they're going to be able to, nice quick save. He canceled the charge! And he'll definitely be going down now. Meanwhile, Banana, though, going to get a nice stun to Illidan, and Virtus Pro are out. They call a retreat. This Aegis could be expiring very soon, and it doesn't look like they'll be able to use it to push. And look at this, for the first time in what feels like quite a while, Purge, Newbee are out in the move, and they're heading down mid lane. They're going to get a tier 1.
This game does not feel good for me. Like, I feel really bad for VP right now because it's just getting out of control, slowly and slowly. Like, I'm like, Weaver needs a Blink Dagger, but I'm like, but then Weaver has a Blink Dagger. Like, that was the only thing that was going to save Brood in that case. Their positioning, they're losing their focus, basically. It's 45 minutes now. They've been sieging mid for like 20 minutes, and they just can't win a fight. They can't kill the tower. It's getting so difficult, and you can see the focus faltering.
That time, that window, it just passed so fast.
Yeah. Just literally a couple time lapses was the difference. Time lapses that he needed to get was the difference between this game being over and not. Now it's really hard.
I was curious what Ilden was going to be committing for with that lump of gold, but it looks like it's going to be a BKB here. Gets the first hammer now. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though, to get this game back in their favor. Virtus Pro are going to have a steep hill to climb at this point. What felt like an easy pushover. You're talking a point when they had a nice, easy early commitment to a Dagon. And now it's suddenly they got to scrap together a possible defense in the near future.
Definitely one of the problems with Dagon. If you're ganking a lot, it's great. But if you're standing around, you're like, man, I wish I had a regen item, and then I could just AFK jungle and gain a little bit of farm, and while we're all waiting for something to happen, for a fight to go our way. Viper's got 3.4k now. And Ember just feels so strong at this point with the Manta.
This is where Ember really begins to thrive. 5k gold here. What is he going to buy? I don't know if he even needs to bother committing in for a rapier. Doesn't seem like it's going to be necessary.
Okay. BOTs. Decent choice. Basically allows him to be more mobile. He can push out farther. Put a remnant down, TP to the top lane, kill the creep wave once or twice.
Come on back.
Yep.
They see
Viper a little bit out.
Well, he's big. He's a big boy, though. It'll take a while to bring this guy down. We'll see. Even commits a BKB, gets the help. Follow up, Echo Slam here. They're going to take down FNG. Hilden's going to be able to help out with that time lapse.
Oh, Moo's dying.
Moo will be going down. Does have buyback out for 100 seconds otherwise. Might be forced to use it here. It's now Virtus Pro back on the offensive.
That was good. They got the Earthshaker as well. Queen of Pain picked that one up. They can force the buyback. This is great for them.
That was a good time lapse. That almost looked like 2 potentially to go down, but it was a good quick save.
Oh, it gets stunned.
Oh, man. Oh, nice quick Manta after the silence, and House steps back. Uh-oh. Orchids are all out.
They
Gets
need the
force
slow.
help from Tule, and
He's so fast.
they can't get to him. Can't get to him. A little not close enough to get that Atos in.
It's an Ags A ult, by the way. Not going to catch anybody. Oh, I guess Lil's kind of low, but he's running smart. He also has a gem, so if he's paying attention, he'll see the cursor on the ground. Almost level 16 on the A. Actually does hit 16 now, so 450 magic damage with the Ice Blast lasts for 17 seconds. And it does 32 damage a second. That's actually the incredible part. It does 32 damage for 17 seconds. That's like... It's like 1,000 magic damage that Ice Blast does.
It just feels like it goes on forever.
Yeah.
Like it's never going to stop. G here, building a fighting Quap here. I didn't notice he had committed for a Crystallis, and then sidesteps for the Ulti Orb. I wager it's going to be the Lincolns.
I think
or
it's
maybe a
Hex,
sheep?
100%.
Okay.
Lincolns, they don't need defensive items. Like, it'd be nice to stop the lasso, but what they really need is some catch. Like, now that Newbee is crossing the map a little bit, it's turning into slightly more of a gank game rather than a siege game. So now they need gank items. And the item that's preventing them from killing Ember is that their Orchids are now worthless because he has Manta style.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Definitely is going to be a Hex. And that's why he basically all of a sudden changed. He's like, they're actually leaving the map now. I don't need a siege damage item anymore. I can actually just buy a Hex. And if I get a Hex, boom.
Should he even consider selling the crit just so he can get it faster?
It's a 2,000 gold item. It's not that expensive. You just hold on to it. He'll go Daedalus afterwards. I think that'd be completely fair.
Oh, he actually already has it. Okay. I was like looking at his gold. I'm like, did he already buy it? Yeah, he got it on the creep. He's got it already.
Yeah, I think it's a great
pickup.
rich. And it's HP. It's a lot more mana regen. I think it's all around a great item. You can use it against Viper, stop his BKB as you initiate. There's a lot of things that are going wrong with them.
Okay.
Might see a Hex?
No. He already needs one slight, and he is out.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a good pickup. There's so many good uses. They have initiation problems. Yeah, the Atos is good, but it doesn't prevent Moo from BKBing. And once Moo BKBs, he's invulnerable until that runs out.
So Virtus Pro are going to go back on Roche watch here. This timer is going to be a bit longer, though. So they will have to wait a bit. But now with this time, having an Aegis, having these new items here, could be enough here for Virtus Pro to finally close out a longer game than they had certainly anticipated. And, My goodness, credit to Newbee for being able to hold strong.
And in some ways, I think that Newbee leaving their base actually hurts them in a lot of ways. Like, if they would love to just sit in their base and force VP to 5-man and 5-man and 5-man, now that they've caught up, the map opens up a little bit, and now VP's heroes are strong again. They've got gank heroes, they've got lots of disables, they have tons of mobility advantage over Newbee's heroes. Like, Ancient Apparition and Earthshaker don't feel very comfortable leaving the base, and that's why they're still there. They have to wait for VP to go high ground, pretty much. But VP's playing as if Newbee's leaving the base, but they realize if they go around and try to play a normal game at this point, they're going to get out-ganked. So they're just going to sit there. They're going to continuously wait. Their farm's going to be low, and they're going to put everything on the shoulders of Ember Spirit. Oh, there's the Hex on him.
Can they get it here? They're going to look to finish him off within the window of time. He's able to Manta split.
Oh, he got
Flare, dang it. Everything Lil could pull out to assist. We know Skywrath Mage certainly falls off, but he threw everything in the kitchen sink to make sure they could finish off Hal on that one, and they get it done. But Hal had been holding quite a purse of gold, so he certainly has the buyback available here. Preemptive Ice Blast trying to slow them all down. Looks like it could catch onto a couple, but here comes Virtus Pro. They want this finish. They worked so hard to try to claim this 2-0.
They got to force the buyback. There's a Demon Edge purchased by them as well as he died. So very likely that will be a Rapier, I'm guessing, unless he's going to do a double Daedalus. Most likely will be a Rapier. They're at the point where if he's got all the farm, give him the crit. But they got to force this buyback. Really important.
Early slow, Spiderlings. Oh, they're all going down. They're just trying to get any little pelts of damage they can on this tier 1 to make it soften it up a bit. Bit easier here for Virtus Pro, but they're just trying to push on forward so they can double back. Get this Roche, and my goodness, they have a DD rune waiting nearby.
And a Poor Man's Shield. Man, everything's just easy. Oh, this is going to hurt.
Oh! Uh-oh. Yeah, they don't want to
like anything.
They have to step back so they don't take too much damage from Roche.
Yeah, this is actually a little scary. But luckily, Incapacitating Bite Man, 60% miss chance. Not a huge deal.
Roshan has fallen to the dire.
Aegis on Quap. Lil's also building in a Hex. He's got an Ultimate Orb right now. Pretty far away from the Hex, but you know, if you get a Hex on your any support here, you're like, wow, I'm happy for you. That's great, man. Like, that extra value of a 3.5 second stun basically is really strong. Then they can Hex into Hex, and then Ember is definitely dead. His Manta becomes worthless at that point. He didn't have to buy back at least, but VP got a lot out of that kill, definitely.
So, Virtus Pro going to give it another college try here to try to end this one out. And we'll see what kind of defense Newbee's going to be pulling out at this point. How did not have to buy back, right? No, so he still has his buyback available and ready. They will have their Echo Slam, their Blinking Lasso here. This is just, it's turning into one of those kind of games, Purge, that you just cannot emulate in scrim play. When you got Lotus Orbs happening, you got Lasso counters, Agnum's freaking time-lapse. You better just be able to be quick on your feet to think and react, and that's what separates some of the best pros out there and some of the new up-and-comers.
Even an Ultimate Orb up on Weaver. Is this going to be a Hex? This one I'm thinking is maybe a Linken's, but I guess it could be a Linken's on Sky as well, really. If they just put spam Linken's on whoever's in the front or something and make sure there aren't any wards from the side spotting the rest of the team, Linken's could be useful, but I think they want at least 2 Hex before they move into Linken's territory, most likely.
That's when our job just gets so hard, trying to spot out 2 different types of Linken's, plus a Lotus, plus a time-lapse.
Say there's things happening.
Some stuff's going on and people are dying.
Oh, they sent the courier to the secret shop, but then they... Okay, it's an MKB. Did they even have... Oh, I guess it's probably for Brood, because he can apply mischance with Incap Bite. So if he's ever fighting him straight on, he's going to need that.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all it does. No other evasion, I believe, on the Dire team. No. Actually, maybe would have liked to see a Solar Crest this game in some ways.
I'm surprised. When I saw the first MKB, I'm like, no Solar Crest. It looks like either for Newbee, and maybe it's something that VP should have grabbed for themselves, but yeah, this is just not one of those kind of games.
Yeah, it was a sieging game, but it was still a lot of magic damage on Newbee. I think if it wasn't a Quap sieging, they definitely would have Solar Crest, but because it's Quap, her HP is not as high, so technically a Solar Crest doesn't give you as much value.
So now Virtus Pro covering all bases here. Get the pressure back at top. Bomb's pushing in respectfully. Hal's going to be there to try to deal with it a bit, and we'll have to see if Virtus Pro, on what feels like, what, the 4th, 5th time? They're going to try to get the finish here in the mid lane.
Know, man. It's been a lot. Cheese is up on the Spear Breaker as well. He's charging in. They get the Hex.
Hex, too late here. Stun out. Sonic Wave. Ilden looking to commit in. Couldn't get the time-lapse off to save FNG, or looking to reserve it. Uses it on himself instead. Able to sidestep back and away. G's going to be able to get out. Just an AA for an FNG Spirit Breaker. Illidan under some pressure from Hao, is going to be able to creep away. They couldn't quite get that tier 1 down yet. Still holding on to about 1/8 of its life.
Man, I think at this point they just need to start a fight and just kill the frickin' tower. I'm not even kidding. Let Weaver focus on time-lapsing and attacking the tower, and that's it. That is all they need to do, because this tower has had 200 HP all game. Yeah, they've got a glyph, I guess, so maybe that's not the best plan. Wait for the glyph to go and then do that, but you've got a Deso, man. You've got an AC on the quad.
Yeah.
They can take that tower, and once the tower goes, then it becomes a little harder.
Oh, crit damage here. Giga is going to lose his Aegis. Beautiful catch there from Hao. Now they don't have to worry about the extra life.
All right. So VP waits more. See you guys in 7 minutes. We're going to turn the stream off.
This is going to, yeah, it could be. Especially if Virtus Pro, if they can't get it done, this could go into like a 70-minute special already.
And it's getting close. Got to bash her up on Brood.
If Newbee are ever to go on the offensive for once, they still have to break through tier 2s and then get into the high ground.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Even with Mega Creeps against an Ember Spirit, you just don't always know when the end of the game is. Level 2 Boots of Travel, haven't seen that in a while.
On Ember, and G is going to get his Daedalus complete here.
Okay.
This is a hard-hitting Queen of Pain.
Yeah, Daedalus with the AC, it's a really good combo. He's still missing one item. Last item, maybe... I don't know, maybe something like a Scotty wouldn't be terrible. Lots of HP, give him a little armor, some utility. Maybe there's better choices. Octarine Core or something. Nah, probably not.
Regeneration.
Abyssal Blade.
What about, I was going to say, what about an Octarine Core on Illidan here? You want to get more of those time lapses, right?
It's a 5-second cooldown. Not enough, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's still trying to finish out what could be either that Lincoln's or Sheepstick at this point. So...
Yeah, he needs damage, I think, or the Hex. Hex would be okay. Hex or damage. Maybe a Daedalus would be good. I think Daedalus would be pretty good.
Hao's charged up as he tries to split pressure this bottom lane. FNG's okay, he's gone. Maybe hoping to get there and catch him out before he's able to TP or make it away. Not going to be happening here. Is Newbee again creeping out from the front door. They were able to get that bottom lane finally pushed all the way back. It's been a handicap for him for what feels like a half hour now. I believe they took that Rax purge at like 18 minutes in.
It was sub 20, yeah. It was actually sub 20. It was looking like it was going to be the fastest game ever, but just a couple mistakes in those pushes. Hearts up on Viper now, AC as well. So he's basically ultra tanky. His damage is mediocre, I would say. Not amazing. But that's all they really need. They just need to stay alive, create pressure until Ember can Sleight of Fist 45 times. It doesn't even take that many. It's more like 10 Sleight of Fists and the enemy team completely dies. So
for sure.
They're in a good spot right now. It's just they can't leave their base still with their supports. So, but that's why you get a Midas. Pop out once every 90 seconds, turn a creep into gold, and you're happy.
Now Hao again caught with a lot of gold at this point. We'll see if it's going to be the magic R weapon or not. We'll have to see. Still holding about.
He's already at 2 men.
Time's on their side. So they can afford to wait this game. They feel pretty confident in their late game, and if Virtus Pro just can't get finish.
I'm just so surprised. Oh, there's the grab on DK.
Will they get the finish here? Pull back, DK Phobos will be going down.
He even BKB'd. But that's a 5-man kill. Did they leave their base? Did that just happen?
They left their base, and they're actually crossed the river purge, and they're going for a tier 2.
The Earthshaker and the Ancient Apparition? What is this game?
Newbee on the move. Haven't seen this since ever in this game. Virtus Pro creeping in maybe from behind. Hao's already out. He's going to step back and deal with this bottom lane, which is a problem again, but he could. Remnant, did he drop a Remnant? He did. He did. FNG looking to make a move in. Buyback comes out from Brood. They're awaiting for possibly the return from Hao here, which could be any moment. FNG, though, not going to be making it out. There's Hao. He's back. They waited for him, and they got him. Wow, he went down so fast.
They can clean up. They can get the racks here.
They're going for it. What a dunk from Banana as he catches right between the two.
Cheese.
Cheese going to eat by G there. Keeps well and alive. Moo is a tough cookie to crack, but he will be dropped. And now they look on over. Chizbug, and they got to realize they got to head right back to the safety of their home. We finally left the base, and we don't like it.
Oh, they got the charge. He's in trouble. He's got a 4-staff.
He's going to go for it here.
8 seconds for the blink.
6. Not happening. FNG's going to get the catch here, and that means G's going to be able to catch up. Nice glimmer help, though, and a secondary force coming out from Banana. Oh, Fissure catch FNG. Oh. Nice save there with the time lapse from Illidan. He's going to keep him alive and well.
These team fights are crazy, man. They had double cheese there. You could really see it. Like when Quap got low, they did waste the time lapse a little bit, but the cheese value was really big in that fight. They kill Viper, they kill Ember Spirit, they got a Viper buyback. His damage is looking bad at this point. I think it was a bit of a mistake to get both Heart and AC. I really feel like that should have been an SNY. The Heart HP is so good, but his damage is so bad right now. If they kill Ember, it's over, basically.
Oh, for sure.
That's basically what happened last fight.
I mean, the last fight, it was kind of gifted to him. They saw where the Remnant was, and they were just ready to spring the trap. The second he showed up, he went down. I don't know if they're going to be gifted as much of an opportunity here. This time they could be dealing with slights here. No buyback yet. Howl only has 16 seconds, and he doesn't want to have to be forced to use it. And Illidan again might be caught in. BKB, he just goes down.
He TP'd himself.
He didn't go for the time lapse at all, and he's going to be dropped. And they lose FNG after. A disaster for Virtus Pro.
What?
How doesn't need to buy back? He just comes back to life now, and they are on the run.
God, that was confusing. He ran through the mid tower, and then he popped his BKB. What happened?
Classic Illidan.
That was like a huge choke. Like that. He seems so flustered. And then he TP'd. He probably has...
Oh, it's like spazzed out, right? I can't help but say anything else. Like, it's like he spazzed out in that moment. Like, I gotta go.
He had no idea what to do. Or he just pressed the wrong buttons, basically. And then he didn't cancel his TP and he actually could have just time-lapsed himself. He would have been alive. That simple. And his team maybe could have fought there. But as soon as he died, it's like, well... Now they wait to defend. He can buy back. Oh.
Bottom lane.
Did he just frickin'
I
solo
came
kill
at the back end of that,
Ember?
and Lil just took out Ember.
He just solo killed the enemy's highest net worth. That is incredible.
He does so much damage now that he has that sheep stick.
Yeah, it's a huge threat. And he just... That push is done, by the way. That mistake that Illidan just made, Lil's like, don't worry, guys. I got you. I'll just kill... I'll kill one.
Ridiculous game.
And the fact that he was there, he's basically predicting where Ember's going to move. And he predicted it there, and he read the play, and he used all of his spells and his items, actually. At this point, it's really hard, because you're basically like, okay, when he comes, I have to press Arcane Bolt, I have to press Arcane Seal, I have to press Concussive Shot, I have to press my ulti, and then I have to press 3 more buttons of items and use them all correctly in a very short period of time, and he did it correctly.
How much damage does an Arcane Bolt do now? My math is terrible.
I got you. 1.6 times. It's basically like 300 damage. 330 damage every 2 seconds. Really good nuke. Ooh. It's basically almost a Dagon.
And he could get off possibly 2 Mystic Flares in one fight. Doesn't have the 0 cooldown of an Agnums yet, but
yeah,
you know, 20 seconds.
He can do a good 2,000 magic damage at least.
Yeah.
And a small, at the very least.
More importantly, those Arcane Bolts will just, they'll creep on you. You get a couple of those off, and next thing you know, Newbee and maybe the supports, whoever's even caught out, just like, it's starting to hurt.
He can kill anybody but Viper, 100%. Oh, except for maybe Bat, because Bat is BKB and can force himself. But if he hexes him first, that's potentially a kill. He's a huge threat right now. He had a bit of a stale period in the middle, but he's doing really good right now.
So Illidan's going to be taking the Aegis this time. Not G. So, in case something happens again.
They just needed somebody to hit the frickin' building. It is that simple. Somebody that had a BKB.
I can't believe that mid-tier 1 is still frickin' alive. The thing is made of like paper mache with how much life it has left, and with the Desolator and with the AC, it should only take like an attack or 2 to bring it down, but they can't even seem to do that.
But the problem is if they focus it too hard, then they get 5 for nothing kind of a thing. And then Newbee's really back in the game. Yeah, they've been losing team fights, but it hasn't been so much that they're like just completely out of it. And that's the important thing. They kept trying to win the team fight, Maybe they should have taken a slight loss to get a tower, but it's kind of past that point because Ember just sleight of fists it once and it dies anyways.
Here we go again, Purge, for the umpteenth time. Virtus Pro back at the Newbee base.
Doing a smoke around as well.
Trying to look for an ideal setup. Will they be able to finally get the job done here, or will Newbee once again be able to hold them off?
It is going to be Lincoln's on Illidan. Lincoln's. Yeah, I said that right.
Yep. He's got it. He's good to go.
That's perfect. Lincoln's plus BKB. He's got the Aegis, so he can be aggressive in the mid lane. He's pretty safe doing this. I thought for sure they're going to smoke around the bot side, but they know there's no ward. I like their positioning. They basically know there's no ward on the high ground because they have a gem. So they're just hoping the Newbee will come out. I don't know if they watched the rest of this game, but Newbee does not like leaving their base. Ooh. Is this a how kill?
How is risking himself.
Oh, didn't get him.
Oh, he committed
Got
BKB, but they're going to get Moo instead. It's a hard kill, and they're going to have a couple of forces here. Mystic Flare, Sonic Wave,
He's
Glimmer
so
Cape
low.
save. He's still good. Oh, Ice Blast back. That means FNG is certainly to drop. Time lapse away. After a commitment in from G, it looks like, and now it's Hal on the move, pops his own BKB,
Oh,
and
G's
they're going to
dead.
be able to get G down, and now it's Illidan, who still has this Aegis, but it looks like he could be going down, and this is a Newbie fight. And they're on the chase here. They're not going to let VP get away with this one, and that's going to be the Aegis, and they're going to be waiting for the second one, but Lil says, I still got you. Arcade
Maybe.
Bolt.
This is the Glimmer
Not
Cape.
enough. There's a dunk
Oh,
waiting for
killed
the
him.
return, and they are able
messed
to get
up.
the kill. Oh no, Banana's going to be going down next, and Virtus Pro are going back the other way. Tule able to TP away, Chessbug already back inside the base, and well, How does have a buyback. Same with Banana here.
Call guy, the tower is dead. They
got it.
It's dead.
Oh.
All right. Ember messed up so bad there, though, because that was one Arcane Bolt. Again, it does a lot of damage, like 300 or something like that, but he had a Glimmer Cape on him. If he turned and ate the Arcane Bolt, while the Glimmer Cape was still on, he wouldn't have died. But he stayed too long. He kept running. He needed to eat it and then continue running. So that cost him a life here. So VP kind of traded again. Yet another trade.
That deceptive amount of damage. Can't count out how frickin' farm Lil is at this point. Illidan going in, looking to siege. It forces out the buyback here from Banana. Illidan's going to have to be forced to BKB, and Sakuchi is way out. They got their buyback, though. It's not How, though.
Earthshaker buyback. Yeah, he's got all items he needs. He doesn't care that much. But the important thing is next fight, no buyback.
Yeah.
A golden thread.
Assuming they push sometime in the next 8 minutes. We're at 67 minutes, by the way.
This is a long one.
This could have been a 25-minute game. Instead, 67. Here we are. Hello.
It's like, I want to give a lot of credit to Newbee for defending, but not going to lie, Virtus Pro did kind of
They messed
slip up.
up.
They slipped up a bit a couple
Yeah,
of times.
that
and-
was them. That was them making mistakes. But on the bright side, it's not them making horrible gameplay mistakes. It's just small execution errors. And by that I mean they're not like throwing hard. They're not like running past towers doing stupid stuff. I think their attitude has been much better.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Blink Dagger now going to be picked up from Lil here, so you get that instant blink sheep.
I like that.
Which, as we've seen, can be a thorn in the side for someone like How in this game. And for How, he has been unable to commit for a new item.
Well, he got a BKB. Dropped his... What was that? Is this on the courier?
Manta. Manta was
Okay.
gone.
For a BKB, interesting. Yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense. There's so many hexes in the game now. And they're on very mobile heroes. Like, does a Manta really help you that much anymore?
Yeah.
Not that much. Whereas, if he comes out of the hex now, he just spams BKB. And then he instantly lives. Boba's caught, though.
Oh, they're going to be able to finish off this Spider. They have 4 committed for it, and they are going to be able to get it. Illidan tried to get close enough to help him out with a time lapse, but could not get in there. And look at this Tule flying up and over. Obviously, with no lasso, is not going to be able to get a catch on the Illidan for there. But hey, it's a kill on the Brood. Creates a little bit more time, a little bit more space for Newbee, which they have been gifted a lot of this game, but they'll take every inch they can.
That's actually a Brood kill that's not that bad for VP. Because he's got buyback ready. He can buy back if he needs to. But that was a death after a buyback. So it was like 100-some seconds. So nothing's really happening right now. If just him dies there, then it's all right. He gets to use that extra timer, and it doesn't become a problem later in a team fight. And he doesn't have to burn his buyback either, because only one hero died. So I think it's all right. Not the worst death here. Gives him a lot of gold, though. Ember Spirit gets another 500, but what does he need gold for? He's basically just waiting to buy a rapier, pretty much.
Yeah. So this may just be, again, Virtus Pro waiting out for that Roche in Aegis. And what number would that be now? 7? 8?
It's pretty extreme. We're definitely at least about 5. Their whole team is pushing out.
Newbee on the move now. If this game goes long enough, weird things could happen.
Weird.
The game tends to
Because they
fall
haven't
apart.
yet. Weird things happened at 15 minutes when Weaver started building an eggs.
Yeah.
We're into weird.
Oh, okay. We'll
Oh,
see.
he's split pushing.
Creeping back towards mid while How will take Rain of Bomb. But that one time Lil put him in check might force How to kind of second guess what kind of commitment he wants to make on these split pushes here. And a Satanic now going to be done for G on his Queen of Pain. He is totally 6-slotted at this point. Doesn't even have shoes.
Oh, really? Okay. That's where you got that extra item slot. That makes a lot of sense.
Bottom lane. They're looking to go for Lil. A pullback, even as a preemptive Mystic Flare for it, but he certainly will get dropped.
Oh, he does lose a gem there. He actually doesn't have buyback. That's actually kind of big. Although Illidan is going for the split push, I like this immediately. Although downside is the Observer spots him, so they're going to see this coming. It won't be a surprise. And there's no creeps in the base either, so he actually can't backdoor. He can backdoor the range barracks, I think.
Dire's structures.
Oh.
This is really dangerous.
Yeah.
There's no lasso, though.
Moon Banana nearby. Meanwhile, Phobos helping to deal with this push on the bottom lane here. How? Silence, Ice Blast. No, Phobos is done for, but he does have pop his BKB.
The life steal. He does
he's trying to
so
get on the
damage.
down. Oh, he can't get it off. How's going to be able to finish him?
If he had a freaking Daedalus, he could have killed him there. I'm not even kidding. A Daedalus honestly could have won them this game. That MKB is so frustrating to see. Like, he hit him like 3 times there. If you got a crit, just got a lucky crit, boom, dead. Kills Ember, gets gold, forces Ember buyback.
Oh boy. Now Newbee. Have a couple of refugees over here now. Look at this 2-lane bottom lane. Creeping, waiting for maybe a reckless side farmer, possibly Illidan here. Not going to be easy though. He's got that Lincolns. If he can blink, force, follow up. I don't think they certainly have enough for this, but they will pull back out. But Newbee get a tier 2 tower here. And originally, you know, I was mocking that. It's like, oh, it's going to be a while for Newbee, though. If they're able to go on the offensive, they have tier 2s to break down. There's only one more left. Oh, no, that's a creep. That's not who you want to lasso up. Now Illidan wants to fight. Too-lay here. Going to be forced to BKB and go on the retreat, but here comes FNG. Charging in, sees Chesbug. Tries to reflect off. There's going to be Mystic Flare. Well, how? Going toe-to-toe with G. Going to be forced to blink back and away. This prompts the buyback here of Phobos. How is going to get the finishing kill, finishing him off. FNG dunking from Banana. Illidan's in trouble here. 3 more seconds. He'll need a time lapse if he wants to live. Is able to Sukuchi away. Will he commit the time lapse? No. Gets out the wave instead. And now they look to sidestep here. Phobos committing in. Moo is going to be going down. He gets dropped. How? Not big on life here.
Just gotta save that gem.
Yeah,
right,
no, he can't grab it. He's just going to blink away to safety. VP. Bloodthirsty now on the move. They want to go for How.
He's fine.
But he's going to have, yeah, a TP.
I'm really surprised he hasn't blinked. Oh, okay.
What?
He wanted
Blinks
to kill.
in, gets a quick slight, and he will lose his own life for it.
That was how. That was somehow right there. Like, I mean, you killed the Weaver, you got him, but like, you're dead. I mean, I don't know if he cares. He's basically like, you know what? I'm never gonna get any more items. Let's reduce their ability to get items.
Ice Blast onto the Roche pit here. As they're looking to get the extra Aegis, Phobos is like, ooh, I gotta be careful.
There's an Orchid on the ground.
Go too low.
It's definitely time to dish Orchids, actually. I think that's the right move here for Quap. What did he buy instead? I really don't know, man. Rapier? No, definitely not a Rapier. Scotty? Is it Scotty time?
Yeah, Scotty. Refresher. Double Sheep, double BKB, double Sonic Wave.
Double Satanic.
Yeah.
You're the man. Nice job. Nice call.
There it is. It's a wonderful grab there.
That's definitely very good. I like it a lot. The double Hex alone is so good. He could basically just solo kill the Ember Spirit by himself.
Oh no! Phobos got hit by that! He might go down!
I hear him. He pops BKB. It's not going to be enough.
He's got to get in. He's got to get in.
He's dead.
No glimmer, no nothing. He's gone. Oh
yeah.
no!
It's a big kill. That was his buyback,
yes,
by the way.
So yes, it was.
Dead for 100. That actually basically means they can't push for 100 seconds. That's kind of a big loss. Weaver's still dead. He picks up a small crit. He definitely needs damage. Him hitting the Bat Rider before was pathetic. He does nothing to bat.
Here we are, nearly 75 minutes into just our second game today. Virtus Pro got a swifter win in game number 1, but Newbee are making them sweat it out if they want to try to close this series out 2-0. Now remember, these are best of 3s to GSL-style group stage format. The loser of this series is going to get bumped down into that lower bracket where they risk moving on into a best of 1 lower bracket playoff session.
They really want to win this game for that reason. Like, best 3 would just end. It'd be over. They win the match. MKB finally paid off. 75 minutes. It was only a matter of time until some asshole bought some ovation.
And it's Moo. Oh, man.
He's got it. The butterfly is up. It's actually, Viper is looking okay at this point. Lots of attack speed. He can benefit a lot more from the Nether Toxin, that bonus damage if people are low. I like his build now. It's looking strong. Could transition, maybe Sanjin Yasha Manta at this point would be pretty good. He's got a lot of agility.
Newbee were on the move, but they scout out a ward and they second guess, kind of trying to invade the VP side. And they'll decide instead to pull back and away and try to continue to relieve the pressure of this lane. This is just turning into one of those kind of games, Purge, where if you're Virtus Pro and you lose, that it's a tough loss. I mean, you're talking about a point when they were on the verge of winning in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And here we are, 80 minutes. Could have easily done game 3 and had a break and gotten some food by now, but this is the long haul at this point. What could already be the longest game at the Frankfurt Major? Who knows?
Yeah, it's not going to end for at least like 5 to 10 minutes, right?
I mean, even if Newbee get back, they have to go all the way to the other side, hope that Virtus Pro have no buybacks ready to go, and go right for the jugular.
Yeah, the only way this game instantly ends for Newbee is, in Newbee's advantage, is if Newbee just 5-man wipes VP and they're close to their opponent's base, and they get like a double racks kind of a thing. But it's not even looking like that's super guaranteed. There's so many options in this fight: hexes, Lotus Orbs, time lapses. How do you think about how to approach this fight for Newbee? It must be so difficult.
How do you cast this crap? I just
things are happening.
Jesus, take the wheel and just go.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you just have to marvel at it. And as I said before, this is just something players don't get a lot of practice with. You do not get these kind of games in your scrims or even very often in your tournament. And it's just one of those things where it's going to become do or die. And we'll have to see. It's Virtus Pro again, creeping down.
Oh, that was an ally. That was a VP ping. So G shows himself on the bot lane. Nobody else has, but they're all here. And we'll see if they fully react to this. It's important that they only show G. They might not expect 5 heroes. The trifecta. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a Batrider plus supports instead of the Viper plus supports. Oh, they show.
They're looking to go for Moo.
They saw FNG.
Oh, too late to go in there. Pop the Lincolns. He still gets a BKB off. If he survives, he can time lapse and be fine, but they're going to get the quick kill. Too late's going to go down. Has a buyback, uses the buyback. Now they're going to be able to finish off FNG. FNG does have a buyback, but will not be able to get in the fight quickly. G moving in, committing. He doesn't have the refresher on hand here, but it's Phobos who's going to be caught out. Lotus is going to be able to reflect back, but they've already made a commitment on in. A double bubble back.
G in trouble.
As they go in, G, there's going to be Duncan. He has the Aegis there. But Lil, now going to be the next target. They move in. Hal looking to cut him apart, gets the Mystic Flare off. Good sidestep from Hal. Will be avoiding the most of the damage. And that's 3 down from the side of Virtus Pro.
Oh, man.
And it was a buyback for them.
G's trying to get out, but he doesn't have boots. Oh, he's so slow. He actually might just die here because of his lack of movement speed. Oh, poor Blink. They're going to find him.
Yes, they will. He's burnt up. He couldn't make it over the cliff.
Oh,
the Sonic Wave gets the kill on the Hal.
Hex.
Banana takes his spot. He is able to glimpse. Make it back and away here.
Blink to the right.
Life. Give me that refresher. Refresher. He uses it. Steps away with the second blink. He even could have popped the Satanic and maybe try to get some life back. He's doing it right now, and he's going to get all of his life back.
Refresher orb. Who's going to think that refresher and a blink was going to save this game?
What's Illidan doing? Mid lane.
He wants this freaking rat.
He's ratting for it, and he's going to go BKB time-lapse back if necessary.
He's like, screw this, man. We finally did it. Good dodge. That was good.
Oh, no. There it is, but it puts him right back at the base. Oh,
Go south, and he's good, I think. They know which way he's going.
Yeah, they know. Uh-oh. Viper Strike is there. Goes for Sakuchi. He is dead.
He's got buyback,
but he got that Rax.
I'm at this point, I'm happy with somebody trading their life for a Rax, because it's going to help the mid push a lot, actually. Maybe not a massive thing, but it will make a difference. It's basically like double the range creeps. So a normal wave is basically going to always be in a huge advantage. Maybe not a huge advantage, but an advantage for the Dire team. So they can split push now a little bit better. 1 Rax is not huge split push. 2 sets of Rax is making a big difference.
Oh yeah. It is though into an Ember Spirit, so they'll always have that dramatic wave clear here. And we didn't really acknowledge it unless I might have missed it before they went into that fight. Hal had a Abyssal Blade.
Okay.
I was like, oh, suddenly an Abyssal Blade. Someone's got an Abyssal Blade, and it's Hal.
That's pretty much out of nowhere. It's kind of cool, though, because if you use Sleight of Fist, you can bash one of those people. You can't bash everybody, but you get a chance on every hit to bash that person.
You got to be careful, though. All these Lotus Orbs out there and Lincolns,
that's true.
Do not
he could
want to be
Lotus
wasting.
himself.
Yeah.
Abyssal himself.
Yeah. Got to be careful.
Oh, he's got a Moonshard, too. I don't even notice. Who cares? This guy's got so many items. He's bought like 9 items this game.
Yeah. It's just one of those games. 80 minutes we go into it. Your top net worth at 36K, belonging to G, who's also had his share of shuffled items, got rid of his boots entirely, and now that he doesn't have to worry about the Aegis, he's claimed his refresher here, which still has a pretty long cooldown behind it. And Newbee actually on the move here, mid lane.
They're set up for the Ember in case he does end up going top, but he did not go top. So now they need to head back and defend. This is a little scary. There's a TP on FNG. Are they starting this fight like this? No way. G's out of position.
Oh, FNG
Okay.
wants to commit on in. Oh, they
All
catch
right.
up too late. Bat Rider's down. A
122.
force split on each other. Banana
This is
forced
perfect.
himself up in the bad area, and G's going to finish him off with a Sonic Wave.
Basher.
On the other side, Moo. Yeah, he's not going to get stopped.
Chisbug in trouble.
But Chisbug will be caught
Is
out.
that
He'll
it?
be taken down. He's the only one without a back. Actually, him and Bat Rider. No buybacks here. This is it.
Is it?
This might be it.
I don't believe it yet. There's an Ember Spirit, dude. He could get crits upon crits and a cleave. It could end the opposite way.
There's the buyback now for Banana, who still has an
That
Echo
was
Slam.
not the BKB Illidan.
Illidan's just like, I want to get this Rax. He can't get it, though. It's backdoor protected,
What a
so it heals
huge
right
waste.
back up. Oh, man.
Absolutely huge
Radiant's
waste.
top tower
This is one of those games where you're just like frantic mode right now. Oh, Hal top lane, gonna get sheeped up. Will be able to be
Next
forced
Hex.
back and away.
Oh,
Secondary
he gets
Hex
that.
for
Oh, he
Frankfurt.
gets
They
him.
got the kill. Does have buyback. Will need to use it. This is it. Do or die
Moo's
for
dead.
Newbee.
Maybe.
Move. Still fine.
Oh,
man. Banana.
That was so good.
What a dunk.
G gets him.
Hal's back in there. He's looking to clean up.
Can
When
they get
Banana
him?
had
They need to
started
stun.
up
He's
his
dead. That's
he
it.
goes down himself.
They
This could
did it.
be over. Moo, the last survivor, and that
Oh
is
my
game.
God.
Virtus Pro nearly win at 20 minutes in, and it takes another hour before they can finally get the finish.
What a game. Man, they held it together. They eventually got the win, and it came down to killing that Bat Rider when his buyback was on cooldown. They killed him instantly. No BKB for him. They were focused. Good initiation at the end there by VP. Those hexes, I think they itemized great, especially Lil. Oh, 2-0. That would have broken the schedule if there was a game 3. That right there.
Welcome to the Frankfurt Major.
Yeah, no kidding.
My God, Virtus Pro. They look like they came to play. Newbee certainly made them sweat it out for that one. Both these teams will certainly need one hell of a break after that. I'm sure we will as well.
Not me. I got hosting to do. I mean, whatever. Panel. That thing.
Woo. All right. Well, a hell of a start. I enjoyed that one for sure. And
Me too.
we're going to be heading into our next heat, I imagine, here to continue to round out the Group A and Group B. With that said, I'm Coddle Guy. That's Purge. It's been a pleasure, and we'll catch you in the next series soon. Take care.